Once again I have returned from the wastelands to bring you news and an update on this glorious world through the digital divide. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and to maybe give a rant or two. I hope that you're all having a good day and Merry Christmas to you all. It is Christmas Eve. I hope that you're all doing well. But we have news, folks. And let's get started right off the bat with this. Violence erupts in Paris hours after 3 killed and several injured by a gunman. 3 people were killed by a 69-year-old in Paris after he opened fire on a Kurdish cultural center. Hundreds of Kurdish locals have flooded the streets around the cultural center in Paris, where 3 people were killed and 3 wounded, in what the government said appeared to be a racially motivated attack. The group of protesters were reportedly throwing rocks and fighting with police, who responded by using tear gas. 11 officers have been wounded in the exchange, the police said. The incident comes after a spokesman for the cultural center, Agathe Polat, accused French authorities of once more failing to protect us against a terrorist attack. Okay. Can I ask a couple questions here? Just a few. This is a horrific attack. There's no getting around this. This is not a Christian type of act. Okay. This man is not seeking forgiveness. He is full of rage and hatred, apparently, toward the Kurdish population. First question, where'd he get the gun? I thought you don't have mass murder attacks with guns in where they've been banned. They've been banned in France. For the most part, the police don't carry guns. How did this happen? Are you going to tell me that the police state known as France, by banning guns, that wasn't protection? Now, you Kurd rioters, you're demanding protection from the government, from terrorists by the government, all right, to prevent a man coming with you with a gun, even though they banned the unholy weapons. What more do you expect the government to do for you? Really? No, I'm serious here. I am totally serious. You have watched for decades, you Kurds. All you people protesting, you've watched for decades as knife attacks, as churches have been attacked, and somehow you get upset that the government didn't protect us. The government didn't protect us. I was like throwing rocks. What kind of morons are you? And I can hear Jensen already. They're French morons. No, man. They're French. What do you expect from the French? Seriously, though. In all seriousness. What did you expect? Okay? You want people to live together? You want people to respect each other? Yep. You expect people to get along, and yet what have you done, all right, to get along? We've created a Kurd cultural center right in the middle of downtown Paris. Really? And that's getting along with people? You're going to get along so well, you're going to sit up there and throw rocks when a guy, a racist, comes in your community and starts shooting places up. You're going to start throwing rocks. You're going to attack the police. You didn't protect me. See, we got a comment for that in America. Right? I want you to understand this. The person most responsible for your safety is you. I know that this is a difficult concept for many of you Europeans to get through your freaking thick skulls. The police are not there primarily to protect you. They never have been. Have you gotten this through your heads? The police are there to ensure order. In other words, they're a reactionary force. They're not going to be proactive in protecting you. They can't. No one can except you. You can take steps to protect yourself. The government's not going to do it. The police are not going to do it. And what's more is you're demanding protection of the police and then throwing rocks at the police. The police didn't protect us. Oh, so you're going to throw rocks at them. See, in America here, all right, when we have riots, people are throwing the rocks at the police. Not because, well, you failed to protect us. It's because they want to throw rocks at the police. They think the police are the ones abusing them. Okay? It's a different mentality, I understand. But it's an important distinction. The police are there to ensure order, nothing more. Notice, they're not even there to enforce the laws. That's another secondary aspect. Have you gotten it through your heads now, folks? And have you gotten it through your heads that in a country that is totally isolated, that can control it, that has total control over what's going on, can't keep out guns, and yet somehow, this is going to work in America? No, it's not going to work. Didn't work there. In other news from the wasteland, Sam Bankman's ex, Caroline Ellison, faced 110 years in jail before she pled. Disgraced FTX crypto mogul Sam Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend Caroline Ellison was facing up to 110 years in prison before she agreed to cooperate with the federal government, her plea agreement shows. The former Alameda hedge fund CEO, 28, pled guilty to federal fraud charges in an agreement signed on Monday. The total maximum sentence for the incarceration on counts 1 through 7 of the information is 110 years imprisonment. The document filed by the U.S. attorneys for the Southern District of New York read. The agreement also indicates that Ellison and FTX co-founder Gary Wang had agreed to cooperate fully with the feds in exchange for which they will likely get a much lighter sentences. However, experts say there's no way to know just how much time Ellison could serve, which could be no time at all, or it could be 110 years. To predict what she'll get at this stage is impossible, said Ira Lee Sorking, a former attorney for the Ponzi crook Bernie Madoff, told the Post. All right, former prosecutor in Brooklyn Federal Court, Moria Penza, also said that it is too early to predict what her sentence could be, but she may get off with just probation. Ms. Ellison was in the door as early as she could be and didn't even need to be indicted. She was signaling at every opportunity she was just taking responsibility and is truly remorseful. For what? Getting caught? Okay? She knew what was going on. All right, and what she's doing with this right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody looks at this and goes, "Oh, she's flipping on him. She's going to prosecute him. He's going to jail." No, what she's doing is she's giving him cover. She is giving him cover. She is protecting him. No, man. No, man. How could you be saying that? How could you be saying that she is protecting him? I can tell you right now. She pleads a deal with the prosecutor, doesn't get any kind of freaking jail sentence, right? She was scot-free, right? And what's the result? Oh, well, they paid the price. Kind of like a la Hillary. We made all these plea deals, all right, for all of Clinton's cronies, and then we just never brought up charges, did we? We just never did this. I mean, it was a mistake. And oh no. See, Sammy boy. Sammy didn't really know anything. We were hiding it. we were hiding what we were doing. He didn't really know. That's what's going to end up happening. Is that what should happen? Of course not. But would it surprise me if that's what happened? No. That's what these clowns do. Folks, that's what these clowns always get away with. Now, if they prosecute this guy to the fullest extent of the law, if they come after her, all of her assets, and then bury her under legal debt and bury her under a lot of other things, if the frickin' Republicans had any balls, they would be forcing this woman, all right, to cough up every penny she has for the rest of her life. Along with Sam Friedman, along with Gary Wang. These people were running a Ponzi scheme on people, all right, so that they could sit up there and illegally fund the Democrat machine, and you're going to stand there and go, "Oh, no, yeah, sure, she may not get anything." Yeah, because she's going to sit up there and basically say, "Oh, yeah, but Sammy didn't know anything," and so forth. SBS ex-pal, gal pal, I knew it was wrong to take part in alleged fraud. Really? Doesn't seem like you really cared. Because the ends justify the means. Orange man bad, right? Teacher admits to sexual abuse of minor inside a closet. Emily Marie Anderson, 35, a Texas school teacher, has admitted to sexual abuse of a minor, a 15-year-old student, in a biology classroom closet. Anderson was arrested in August of 2021 and charged with sexual assault of a child, a second-degree felony. She was again arrested in December of 2021 and charged with a felony of improper relationship between an educator and a student. According to SAT TV, people began investigating Anderson after they heard the complaints from the victim's mother. Based on the mother's testimony, sexually explicit texts were found on her son's phone. The police traced the text to Anderson, who was then a special education teacher at Canyon High School in New Braunfels, Texas. New Braunfels Herald Zeitung, right? For those who don't know, Zeitung is newspaper in German, right? Reported that Anderson admitted to the police that she had sex with a minor in a biology classroom closet. Anderson pled guilty to the charges, and People confirmed that she is required to spend 60 days in jail over the course of her 10-year probation period. She also has to pay $2,000 fine, complete 500 hours of community service. Part of the agreement will be that Anderson register as a sex offender for the rest of her life. The judge also filed a protective order that prohibits her from contacting the victim. During the court hearing, the victim's mother addressed Anderson, saying that her son now suffers from depression and anxiety. I trusted you, the mother is reportedly said by the Herald Zeitung. You knew what you were doing, though, and you knew he was behind in school. What more do you want me to say? I know you guys are wondering. No, man. What are you bringing up? This is Christmas Eve. What are you bringing up these horrible stories for? Because these are the stories that are in the news. Right? In the more things change, the more things stay the same issue of things. This is our protest. Black people are taking shrooms to heal from racism. Oakland, California, deep in the redwood forest of the California's Castro Valley, the crowd of about 75 people was hard to miss. Not only because the DJ's kicking off dance parties, right, tables full of snacks and sparkling water, and people sharing shrooms and cannabis, but everybody there was also melanated, all right, as one member described. Some even wore traditional African garments or golden halo crowns. They traveled to the confluence of canyons about half an hour's drive from downtown Oakland to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Negus, which means king in the Ethiopian language of Aramaic in nature. The group, which is now has more than 300 subscribers, plans outdoor excursions from Oakland for black people and provides a space for them to microdose on magic mushrooms, particularly as a way to heal from racial trauma. This is the same excuse, folks, that was being let out in the 90s, in the late 80s, early 90s, where people were saying the reason you're going after the black people, the reason we sit up there and do marijuana, the reason we do illicit drugs is to cure us from racism. It's going to heal our racism. So we're going to go on a psychedelic hallucinogenic because having hallucinatory images roaming around in our brains makes us so much better connected with reality. It heals us from the everyday racism that we imagine has oppressed us. Really. We're tapping into what's organic and what's natural to us. And so coming into nature with psilocybin, all right, with some good people, with some good herb, all right, with some good music, some good drinks, some good food, and no alcohol, we're going to have ourselves a good time guaranteed. Because Africa has been known for psilocybin, right? Psilocybin, excuse me. Right? Because marijuana was a well-known weed throughout the jungles of Africa or in the savannah, right? It's part of your historical characteristics. Don't we call that? Isn't that Hail Hydra? How's it going, Sixer? Isn't this cultural appropriation? Where are the Native Americans jumping up and down screaming, this is cultural appropriation? You can't sit up there and do this. These are our drugs. You go back to licking toads. Oh, wait a minute. That's South America. You can't do that either. These are the stories, folks. Hey, Sixer, if you want to come in, let me know. Just send me a send me a DM if you would, and we will change over a little bit. You guys want to join us? On to the next story. Chinese startups at a $140,000 car that can fly over traffic jams. From Bloomberg News. A crowd of hundreds roared in Mandarin as a gold-winged two-seater aircraft hovered approximately 30 meters above their heads before smoothly lowering back to Earth. Make us Chinese proud in Dubai, several of the more enthusiastic shouted in unison. In the past months, China's Xipeng Aerolite, okay, I'm not trying to butcher your name, I don't know how to pronounce it, all right, has staged 2 maiden public flights for its aircraft. The 90-second exercise near Dubai's iconic Palm Jumeirah Island in October was followed by another in Guangzhou, China. Landmarks for the startup backed by electric vehicle maker Xing, Inc., the EV's firm's billionaire founder He Xiaoping. I'm not trying to butcher your name, I don't know how to say it. And other backers are betting large that they can overcome regulatory hurdles and capture a slice of what's been touted as a $1 trillion market that could redefine how we move around. The flying car is approaching reality, and we think it is the right time to chip in, said Brian Gu, Zhang's president, said on the sidelines of the Dubai event called GTEx. The industry has produced a lot of technical breakthroughs, from weight reduction to obstacle avoidance and electrification. Electrification, huh? Electrification. Essence of Gelfling. Electrification. I am going to say something here right now. All right, the way this thing works is it's an actual car, right? But if you get into a traffic jam, it's supposed to be able to hover up, fly over the traffic jam, and then drop back down again. Now, I, of course, look at how this is going to work in the United States. Okay? First things first, folks. If you get stuck in a traffic jam and you fly up and then try to fly over the traffic jam, how far can you fly? Seriously. I don't know if you've been to LA. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hello. So they're coming up with a car that flies to deal with congestion, only to create more congestion, only in the sky as well as the ground.
Well. In this case, it's only for the super elite. It's a luxury car. You gotta understand this.
Yeah, well, so was the car to start with, and then every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got one.
Well, that's true, right? But so this might be the start of the craze, right? But we're a ways away from a true,
Yeah, absolutely. But you see my point.
The Fifth Element kind of flying around.
But you see my point, though, don't you?
I do. I don't disagree with it. All right.
I mean. There you go. Where's the carbon neutral tax on that?
No, this is all electrical. This is an electric vehicle.
It's an electric one, is it? Oh, right.
Right. So here's my problem with it, though. Okay, let's assume something in America, right? I don't know. You probably never seen traffic in like LA, right?
I've seen videos.
So the first question is okay? So you hover up, you start flying over the traffic in LA. Okay, we'll just use LA as an example. New York's just as bad. Okay, but we'll start with LA. All right, so you're flying over the traffic jam in LA. First thing you got to think about is, I don't know whether or not how true this is for you guys, but across a lot of our roadways, you have crisscrossing electrical poles.
Yeah, there are. We also have lots of power cables and various other things that are. And then we get to this thing, I suppose you're gonna have to create an airspace that's free, not only of those cables and power cables and poles, but also wind generators as well as commercial airlines. So you got to find that in between.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Electrification. Yeah, I think the electrification's going to happen. All right. With a few of these things running to the power lines. All right. That's problem number one. Right now, remember, like I said, problem number two is in LA when there's a traffic jam, it goes on for miles. You're
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
going to hop over, a few hundred yards and then land.
Yeah, where are you going to land? You start losing power. How the hell are you going to land in quick time before you free fall?
Well, I guess you aim for the dump truck and hope it's full of mattresses. I don't know.
If there is a dump truck.
All right. Aim for the police vehicle. I don't know. But that's problem number two. Okay, just putting it out there, right? Here's problem number three. Have you ever heard of road rage?
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I want you to understand it. In LA, you start demonstrating, hey, I'm just going to hop over you because as a smug bastard, there'll be plenty of people opening fire on this vehicle.
You can just imagine it. Fly-by shooting. Hey, you're going to drive by, you got a fly-by.
There you go. I'm just pointing it out here, folks. There are problems with this idea.
Yeah, it says that all sort of crimes, vehicular crimes you come with cars is now going to be with flying cars.
This could be a trade. I don't know if people understand how Americans think. I'm trying to explain it to people. Merry Christmas, Batman. Join us if you wish.
It'll certainly be different, that's for sure.
Right.
I just like the idea of fly-by shooting. That's brilliant.
The thing is, Americans tend.
What about ram raiding? Try and do a ram raid with one of them.
Americans tend to be violent. I don't know.
Gee, I wonder why.
We tend to be vengeful, right? And when you got a bunch of bitter little people running around who are going to be telling you now, you're cutting the line, you're cutting the queue.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't tell me it's not just everyone else. It's just you as well. It happens with me. Son of a bitch. Really? You did all that just for one space?
It's true.
Yeah.
You can see where this is problematic.
Oh, yeah,
it sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds wonderful. But when I think about it from the U.S. standpoint, it's like, no, that's just not going to go the way you think it is. What did you put in my vein? No, just join me in Discord. Come in on Discord, Batman. You should see me in the streaming. I mean, Sixer found me.
I found you.
He located me. He tracked me down.
Mm.
It's a good thing too, because I've got some questions about the British. I do have a story that I need to expound upon. Not the next one though. Next story from Pravda. Okay, just let people know where I get this information from. Right? Biden explained why he does not fulfill all the weapons wish list of Kiev. NATO.
But I don't wanna. Yeah, like I said, happy Christmas to everyone apart from Stinky Miller.
Who?
Stinky Miller.
You've lost me.
Good.
Yeah.
That's not helpful. That's not helpful, Batman.
Nah, anybody's lost me more time. Anyway, this is Batman. I keep forgetting this is Batman.
It's not that. It's NATO is more important. All right, let's read the story here from the Russian perspective. As it always happens, when the owner of the White House speaks in... Okay.
Why does it look like he's talking to his fucking illegal immigrant gardener?
He does, doesn't he? He does. He looks like one as well. He does look like an illegal immigrant as well.
See, Mr. Biden, I cut the hedges well.
I'll be honest. I did take this as an insult. All right, Zelensky coming here and as if he's some freaking chud.
Yeah, it's nothing at
like
all
Bezos
like
or Zuckerberg or anything else.
Screw
you.
You know what the worst thing is?
They say there's nothing like Putin and Russia. Want to bet?
Do you know what the worst thing is here? He's visiting you on in an official capacity, right?
Yes.
But the way he's dressed is being disrespectful to the office of the United of the United States.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Everyone's been saying that. Everyone said that, but you get called all sorts of names.
Not Nancy Pelosi. She's busy giving him hugs and kisses.
But Nancy Pelosi's hoping he's going to service her.
We're not going to go this way.
No.
We're not going to.
I mean, I know they've got a funny standard of beauty in Eastern Europe, but it's not that funny.
Well, what I was saying now, I think even bloody Zelensky's got fucking limits.
Yeah. But hey, if it was a oh God, you realise if this was a carry-on film, Nancy Pelosi would be played by Hattie Jakes, right?
and Zelensky played by Kenneth Williams.
No, that'd be Biden. No, Biden would be Charles Hawtrey.
Now, in this story, the next word is that as it happens, the owner of the White House. Do you guys think Biden is the owner of the White House?
No. His handlers are.
Oh God, it would be Sid Zelensky.
Mr. James, yeah.
I'm gonna have to mute you guys. You guys keep this up.
Oh God! Hey, see this? In this story, Putin is practically the good guy, isn't he? So it would be Jim Putin, Jim Deal.
Oh my God! Biden finally gave an exhaustive answer to the question that worries many on both sides of the ocean. Is there a limit to which he and his team are ready to support the Ukraine with weapons? It turns out that
no limit whatsoever.
Answering a Ukrainian journalist who asked why the West does not give Ukraine all the opportunities necessary to liberate all its territories, the American president was brief. Giving Kiev all the weapons it wants can destroy NATO. Now,
so he's giving them all the weapons they want, then.
Yeah. Well, they gave all. Well, I mean, why not? I mean, they gave all the Afghanistan's and Taliban the weapons from when they pulled out. So why not?
Come on, he keeps telling everybody he's Irish and he doesn't like the English and England, and the United Kingdom's in NATO. So,
look. As far as destroying NATO, you want to destroy NATO, leave.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. I personally think that we should just leave NATO. Okay?
Absolutely.
I think, like I said, we should. Like I said, whatever you call yourself at the moment. Oh, no, that's right. Like I said before, we should start the League of English-speaking nations.
Yeah. The reality is, NATO does longer serves.
No, it doesn't.
For the defense of the United States. Okay, we are not.
It no longer serves for the defense. Well, let's face it. It no longer serves for the defense at all. Like I said, start the League of English-speaking nations. The United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, apart from Scotland.
First of all,
hold on. Let me finish. Yeah, like it says, the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, apart from Scotland and Wales, because they can't speak English. Australia and New Zealand.
But you screwed up right off the bat, Batman.
Come on.
That because we had to include Canada. I don't want to include Canada.
Why the bits of Canada that don't have French people in them?
All right, bits of Canada. I would say bits of Canada that don't support Mr. Blackface Trudeau.
Yeah. Well, that's most of Canada. Let's be honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then why did they re-elect him? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tolerate the Canadians.
It was probably fortified, like your election.
I know it.
Look, all right. Now, the thing is NATO no longer. The United States has no reason to be in NATO now, and we've been backstabbed because we are NATO. Look, they're asking for billions from the United States and weapons from the United States. Well, how about the European Union give over a few billion euros, like around 50 or 60 billion euros? Right?
You know,
that still would be less than what we've already given this jackass. So how about you cough up right now 60 billion euros?
Well, let's face it. If you put that to the member states of NATO, the UK would cough up its fair share, right? If you twisted the arm of the Germans behind their backs for a bit, they'd probably cough up half of their fair share. The French would pretend they'd gone to the toilet.
Right. I'm sorry, but this is not a defensive, like you said. It's not a defensive alliance anymore. That's number one. That's very true.
It's a political alliance now. It should never have become allowed to become a political alliance.
Regardless how we all feel, they're going to do it anyway. They're going to give them the money. They're going to hand over the money and they hand over the weapons.
Yep.
Because
now,
fucking
I want to make some points here.
And
they want this proxy war.
Before you do, I want to make a point. Every time the United States has given a foreign power weapons to fight a war against another foreign power that they don't like, usually Russia, it's usually come back and bit them in the arse.
Yeah, Taliban.
I think you'd have learned by now.
Well, in this case, the
Taliban Afghanistan, didn't they?
The Ukrainians is because of Biden. Okay, that's the only reason, because this is a slush fund to the Biden family. We all know.
Why don't you just give them Biden instead?
Well, I would love to do that, but there's something else that people, all right, have got to understand. Okay, you can whinge and bitch about who Putin is, what kind of a dictatorial monster Putin is. Okay,
so Zelensky.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Hold on, to his own people, to Russians, I don't think he's a dictatorial monster. I think he's got the best interests. Hold on, I think he's got the best interests of Russia.
Well,
in his mind.
In his mind, yes. No, but the thing is that's the issue. Okay, it is, whether you like it or not, it is in the best interest of Russia, right, to conquer the Ukraine.
Yeah.
You can argue this all you want, but when it comes right down to it, whether Putin is there or not, the Russians are going to continue this.
Can I ask another question?
All you got to do is just get rid of Putin and the war is over. You're fooling yourselves.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Is it in the best interest of the rest of us if Russia conquers the Ukraine?
That's an interesting question. To be honest, I don't think it's in the best interest of the United States or the rest of the world if Russia conquers the Ukraine. But at the same time, I don't think it's in the worst interest either. All right, we have no dog in this fight. We have this dog don't hunt. I mean, we gain nothing. All right, in this arrangement in doing this, except for the loss of our treasure.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. The only way we're gaining anything on this is if we put money on the outcome. At the bookmakers.
I say the people are gaining out of this are the ones who are going to be supplying the money and then the weapons.
You mean the French?
And unfortunately,
it's a proxy war.
And it's not even a proxy war. It's a personal.
No, I didn't think you said proxy war. I thought you said epoxy war.
No, proxy. Yeah, that too. It is a proxy war.
Yeah, like it says, the people who are making the money out of this are the ones giving the weapons. The French.
Well, the French and
Biden. I mean, both sides are better as well.
The Biden family is getting rich hand over fist in this crap. All right, because this is the slush fund operation that they utilize.
Oh God! I just realised something about the Biden family. You know that guy, that moron with the lump on his neck, who's running for a bloody senatorship now. Oh, the one from Gary, Indiana, man.
Buttigieg?
You know, the bald guy with the lump on his neck and the very small brain.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I just realised you're saying the Biden family. I just keep picturing him as Lurch.
I was saying now. What do you think it will change now? Now they've made that. Now they've released that the Merchant of War, Merchant of Death, whatever they call him.
Yeah, well, that's not going to change anything.
No.
No, not going to supply
that's
more
not
weapons.
going to, well, he's gonna provide weapons to enemies of the United States. We know that, right? But as far as from the Ukrainian perspective, that's not going to do one thing or another. The thing is the people have a serious misunderstanding of how serious Russia is. Not Putin, but Russia is. All right, in retaining the Ukraine, what they've done in the Ukraine. Okay, it is in their best interest to continue this battle, because if they lose, okay, the entire state of Russia is under threat. Whether you believe that or not is immaterial. They do. And you've done nothing.
Do you know what the frightening thing is?
That's been happening has relieved them of that knowledge.
Do you know what the funny thing is?
Of that view, rather.
You know, if you could actually get both leaders, Putin and Zelensky, to turn up, unarmed combat match, right, cage fight, to decide the outcome of this war, Putin would turn up. But the thing is, Putin is in ridiculously good shape for somebody his age, and he knows how to fight extremely well.
He's also very sick.
Yes, so he'd fight quick and dirty.
But the thing is regardless of how it came about, it would be like when the Athenians and the Spartans decided, okay,
you mean the
Athenians?
Athenians. The Athenians are ones who.
Let me finish my story.
No.
You never let us finish ours.
Exactly.
What the hell are you talking about? I've been quietly letting you guys go on and wander around.
Makes a change. Must be our Christmas present.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Go on then, but seriously, the Athenians were the ones who were suffering from anorexia nervosa.
Well, anyway, the Athenians, like I said,
Athenians.
You just said Athenians, and now you want to come.
He did that just to make you happy. But
anyway,
just to make a joke.
So we will continue.
That too.
They agreed to end one of the Peloponnesian conflicts by sending 100 of their best. So Sparta sent 100 of their best. Athens sent 100 of their best. All right, they dueled it out. The Athens had one person left standing. That's all that was left standing. Right, was one person from Athens. So the Spartans said, okay, went back home, marshaled the army, and attacked. These things don't work. To put two leaders in a cage match to decide this, it's not going to decide.
No, but it's going to be fucking entertaining, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, can you imagine World War III was Putin versus Joe Biden? That would be fucking hilarious.
I will pay to see that match. I would pay to see that match.
No, I'd want the job of promoting that match.
On to the next story.
Oh, that was fun, that one.
Protester 45 is charged with disorderly conduct after allegedly shouting, "Who elected him?" during the proclamation ceremony for King Charles.
What?
A man has been charged after allegedly shouting, "Who elected him?" at King Charles's proclamation ceremony.
What was he arrested for? Gross.
Thames Valley Police said on Friday that Simon Hill, 45.
Wait, hold on. What Valley Police?
Thames.
I'm sure you mean Thames.
All right, Thames Valley. Okay, well, Thames. Anyway, Thames Valley Police. All right.
I'm not going to. MC, sorry, Norman. Before you go on, I'm not making fun of you for mispronounce that word. You've never heard it being spoken before, so that's fair enough.
But never complain to us when you say we don't speak proper English. You can't even pronounce Worcestershire without having a fit.
Worcestershire.
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 No, not Worcestershire.
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 Okay, Worcestershire. Okay. Anyway,
At least
That's
it's
it, well done.
Hill,
more.
45 of Churchill Road, Oxford. Okay, did I get Oxford right?
Oxford.
Yeah, but
Oxford.
yeah, his surname is Hyle.
I don't think it's Hill. It's Hill.
No,
Right.
it's Hyle. That's how it's pronounced.
All right. Has been charged with using threatening or abusive words or disorderly behavior. The charge comes after he allegedly shouted, "Who elected him?" during an event at the Carfax Tower, Oxford, on September 11th.
So what was he arrested for? Gross stupidity.
He's been charged with using threatening or abusive words or disorderly behavior. So, in other words, he does a Monty Python skit and is arrested for it. Am I missing something here?
I don't think he should have been arrested, to be perfectly honest. I'm a royalist.
No. Same here. I'm a royalist, and I don't think he should have been arrested.
He should have been laughed at.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously, he was obviously referencing Monty Python, I think, right? When
The life of
No,
Brian.
he doesn't look intelligent enough.
That
Looks kind of looks like a simp as well.
Probably lives in his mum's basement. Probably basement dweller.
Oh, you're talking about basement?
Yeah.
That's the next story. Meddling parents
what-
hire dating coaches for their grown children. When a 33-year-old woman learned of her father's plans to hire a matchmaker to help find her a partner, she asked Dad, "What are you, crazy?" Parents who give their children a gym membership at Christmas risk the recrimination. "What are you saying, Mom?" So, surprising them with offers to pay for dating coaches and matchmakers. 2 years ago, Kelly Kaku's mother bought her a
What a name.
$797
Who?
online course, Fall in Love by Christmas. Miss Kaku, 34, was blindsided. I was like, I'm trying.
Kaku.
Kaku.
No, Kaku. You know, Kaku.
Kaku.
She lives in a clock.
Yeah.
This woman is a 7th grade teacher who moved back home to Fresno,
It's obviously a
California
Swiss
at
name.
the time. She agreed to the course mostly because she didn't want to waste her mom's money. Personally, I think that your mom just wants you out of the house. Okay, understand this.
Well,
Go back
usually
to
the
where
best
you
way to do
were.
that. Usually the best way to do that is pay for your child to have a fortnight's holiday in Spain, and when they get back, they find all the locks have been changed.
Just find that somebody else is living in the house because it's been sold.
It's cheaper just to change the locks.
It's not as effective though.
Oh yeah, it is, because they can't get back in.
Yeah, when you sell the house, they can't get back in either, and they don't know where you're at.
Oh yeah, they can't get back in because you haven't changed the fucking locks.
Well, if they get shot as an intruder walking into somebody else's home, well,
Not in this country. Or unless it's hold on. If it's in London, you might get stabbed. Death.
If you're lucky.
Somebody yelling Muslim words, or you've entered Jensen's house and you end up on his
we had that story
table.
already with the Muslims. All right, in the French riots that are going on.
Oh, we missed that. Sound like we missed a good story.
that was the first story.
We could have had fun there.
Yeah, French riots are a good thing. Means less French
Absolutely.
people.
I bet that's where Jensen is right now.
Anyway.
Well, he was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, he
By the
was
way,
in chat
Jacob,
when
good
I
morning
was
to
in a
you.
live stream.
Merry Christmas. Sorry I was so late in greeting you.
Yeah, cool.
This kind of stuff, I just, first of all, you're going to arrest a guy because he said, who elected you king?
Yeah. If the thing is, if Charles had been there and heard that, and he was close enough to respond, he would, well, nobody. It's a hereditary title.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
That's what the monarchy's about.
Where did you get your education from, you moron?
The back of the cereal box.
Well, that's what they were at Oxford.
Exactly.
These rumors going around that Markle sparked about Harry not being Charles's natural son.
Oh, we know that.
Hold on. The thing is, if that's true, it's actually good publicity for the king rather than bad publicity, because he's not the king's son, yet he's been raised as if he were his son.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
And an illegitimate. And also,
wouldn't that
hold on a minute. Hold on a second.
Let him finish.
Also, he would have been. He would not have been. Yeah, to answer your question, he would not have been in line for the throne, which he was. So, if he wasn't his natural son and he was still in line for the throne, that means Charles has been wrangling to get to allow him to be in line for the throne.
Yeah, but doesn't it also mean that he's not of royal lineage, so their titles are invalid?
Yeah. Which is another good feather in Charles's cap. I mean, think about it. He's not my natural son, yet I've ensured that he's had all of the titles and rights and privileges as if he were. I mean,
it'll be interesting. All right, on to the next story. I'm curious to hear what you guys' viewpoint of this is. And I'm just going to read the story, and then I'll let you guys comment on it. Movie fans can sue over misleading trailer, says U.S. judge. Movie fans disappointed that their favorite actor was cut from a film after appearing in the trailer can sue the studio for false advertising, a U.S. judge has ruled. Two movie buffs say that Universal Pictures tricked them into renting the 2019 flick yesterday because the trailer featured actress Ana de Armas. All right.
Who?
Peter Michael Rosa, 45, of San Diego, and Connor Wolf, 39, of Maryland, say they forked over $3.99 each to watch the Richard Curtis comedy on Amazon Prime, only to discover that de Armas had not made the final cut. A class action.
Oh wow! They forked over $4. Whoopie fucking do.
Wow.
A class action suit filed earlier this year alleges fans had been led to expect the Cuban No Time to Die star would feature prominently. However, they did not receive a movie with the appearance of Ana de Armas at all, says the suit, reported by U.S. media on Friday. Accordingly, such consumers were not provided with any value for their rental or their purchase, the suit added. Okay, what's your guys' opinion of this? I'm curious.
What?
Fuck off, stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. Really? How many dollars?
No, the whole thing. I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah, no, but say how many dollars? What, $4?
Yeah, about what?
How much is that in real money?
Yeah, it's not real money though. Let's have a look here.
Well, at that time it was until Sunak got in.
About £3.32.
Wow. Our movie tickets are more expensive than that.
Yeah, that's from Netflix or Amazon Prime rather.
Amazon Prime. Okay, I thought you meant going to the movies.
It's still. Who cares?
We're paying £8 a month over Netflix.
Yeah, I don't pay anything because I'm not in Netflix. But it's a fucking movie trailer. Big fat hairy deal. There are fucking whole scenes in movie trailers that don't turn up on the fucking film. Nobody's bothered about that. This is bollocks.
Okay, now you think that it's just $4, but you got to remember, if you're doing this as a class action suit, this is everybody who's ever rented this film on
Yeah,
Amazon Prime.
it should be thrown out of court. I'm sorry, but it should be. It's bollocks.
Why?
Well, like I said, you get trailers for movies, and some of the scenes in the movie, in the trailer, you do not see in the film. They sometimes
Okay.
use deleted scenes in trailers.
But
Yeah,
they
so
sit up there and make a statement saying that this is the case? Should they not put out a trailer? If they
Why?
put out a trailer that they cut a film, all right, because it is
Why?
false advertising. You're saying this is in there and it's not.
You still with a trailer, you're still getting an idea of what the film's about. It doesn't matter if there's deleted scenes in it or not. It doesn't matter if there's an actor in the trailer that isn't in it. It's bollocks. It's a load of bollocks. It's just whiny fucking post-millennials who found something else to whinge about. Do me a fucking favour.
He's not wrong there.
For fuck's sake.
He's not.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. All right, I agree with that part of it. All right, but the thing is if you're gonna, I do not like the ideas that a lot of these.
I mean, it's totally different to it's totally different to bring out a beef burger, right? And saying 100% natural beef, yeah, and you find out it's made from cockroaches. That's an entirely different thing.
Or even something more serious, like when it comes
to extreme here,
I'll
admit. But you know what I mean.
More something as more serious, like medical medicines and all that sort of thing. Probably claim to do that, and they'll probably end up killing them instead.
Yeah, or these...
hey,
there's one that's still on the go. It used to be called oil of Ulay, right? Yeah. Rub this gunk on your skin, and you will lose your wrinkles.
Yeah.
Then they found out it didn't work, so they changed the name to oil of Olay, and they were allowed to fucking continue trading.
Oil of Ulay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so false advertising is something serious.
Yeah, but not with movies.
No, not with movies. It's not like
seriously.
Seriously,
with a movie, if that actress is in the movie or isn't in the movie, you're still getting what you paid for. You want to see a piece of entertainment that does such and such a thing. It still does the exact same thing.
It's a movie.
I realize it's a movie, right? But if you're there to be entertained by a specific actor or actress, and somebody else shows up, you'd be disappointed too.
I'd be disappointed, but if I enjoyed the film, I wouldn't be bothered. Even if I didn't enjoy the film, I wouldn't be bothered.
But unfortunately, the millennials would.
Yeah, especially the post-millennials. They seem to be worse.
Go postal.
You have to appreciate this guy. You got to appreciate this guy. Iowa sports reporter lets viewers know he's not happy about being sent to cover a blizzard at 3:30 a.m. I didn't realize that there was a 3:30 a.m. also in the morning until today, he said. KWWL TV sports reporter Mike Woodley, all right, during a live remote in the middle of a blizzard for the channel's morning show. Woodley was drafted. Listen, this is great. This is good. Woodley was drafted onto the weather team when the storm hit, and he was unusually candid with his feelings about the assignment. I normally do sports, but with everything here is canceled because of the weather. All right, so what better time to ask the sports guy to come out in about 5 hours earlier than he normally would, all right, wake up and stand out and go into the wind and snow and the cold and tell other people not to do the same.
I like this guy.
Right? Then, in one of his sign-offs, he said, tune in for the next couple hours to watch me progressively get crankier and crankier.
This is what our local news... This is how our local news used to be until it got homogenized.
Yeah. Yeah, BBC, ITV, all the same.
I mean, seriously, Nomad, I mean, once over in the UK, you get your local news stations. I mean, up here, it was either, it started off as the Date 6, and they went to change its name to Northern Life, but it had a different formula to, say, Yorkshire TV, which is just a few miles down the road.
Yeah.
And it would be different for wherever it is that really, Sevener here lives.
Yeah, this guy,
But
like,
you had
first of all,
different-
the guy's
yeah.
got a personality. This guy has,
So,
let's be honest,
Yeah.
So-
he's
I
got,
was
so
he's
used
got
to-
screen presence.
There's a sixer for the BBC. Freezing cold, miserable. My wife just left me.
Frank Carson, use it, Chen. That's the way I tell him.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, but-
you got to appreciate this guy. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
come
God.
out here to tell you all about the weather and how cold it is because everything's been canceled. And don't come out here just like me.
I remember one back after the drought broke, the first harsh whip we had after the drought, 76. It was one of the News at 10 lot. I forget who it was, but this is such and such, News at 10, outside in the freezing cold.
Yeah, I
My
remember.
feet are going numb.
Yeah, that was it. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was it?
Yeah,
it was
you
like
have to
music,
appreciate
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because our news broadcasts used to have personality.
Yes.
I mean, the national news did on both ITV and BBC, but the local news, I mean, they were set up to reflect the people who were tuning in to watch. Now they're all the same.
Unfortunately, that's even true here in the United States. Right? We used to have much more attendance to local news. Part of the problem with the local news channels is the fact that
Well, it wasn't just local news, Nomad. We used to have continuity announcers.
what
I
the
think
heck's
you
a
did as well.
Continuity announcer.
That's somebody who comes on to tell you what's going to, what the plan is for the evening's programming, and will tell you what's coming on next. They were like minor celebrities, weren't they, Sixer?
Yeah.
No, we never had anything like that.
Oh, we used to.
Yeah,
Well-
Angela Rippon was one of them, wasn't she?
She might have been for the BBC, but they were mainly on ITV.
Oh, most people were there for when she appeared on. Was it to Morecambe Wise? And she actually, because she used to be a dancer, and she showed her legs off it in that scene.
Yeah, because she used to be a newsreader. Then you saw her legs, and nobody actually realised that she had legs.
No, but she actually used to be she actually used to be a dancer before she did news.
Since she had big legs. Is that
Oh,
what
she didn't have legs. She had gams.
you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Story.
I've never seen legs as good unless they were done by Michelangelo, and I
Okay.
don't mean the turtle.
Moving on.
Super yachts flock to the Caribbean for lavish year-end parties. Billionaires all over the world, I assume is what I meant to say, have descended upon the Caribbean, ready for
He slipped there the first time. He revealed that he's not really American by saying Caribbean.
In Caribbean.
Yeah, he didn't see it the first time.
You think that Americans care one way or another how it's pronounced as long as you can understand it?
That's why we pretend. That's why we pretend we can't.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. As the yacht count in the region has more than doubled from the previous month, the yacht
Missile strike.
The nation is in full bloom with more than 200 luxury vessels have clustered among the islands compared to 81 in late November, according to
this
data
year.
compiled by Bloomberg.
In this day and age,
400. Huh?
I said in this day and age, a missile strike is more like industrial action on behalf of projectiles.
David Geffen's 454-foot Rising Sun super yacht is the largest in the region, currently anchored off of St. Thomas, followed by a 384-foot yacht in the British Virgin Islands and the Canadian-Jamaican billionaire Michael Lee Chin's 378-foot Apo all right, which had recently arrived in St. Kitts. Now, you guys laugh about this, and you laughed about the missile strike, right?
Yeah.
The missile strike, right?
But doesn't this sound like I don't know, trying to say, hey, we need pirates here?
Have you ever seen that game, Sid Meier's Pirates?
Yes.
This is what they're doing. It's millionaires having a game of pirates.
I mean,
Well, the millionaires, the family telling everyone to go green, and what are they on?
No, they're telling everyone
Roman
else to go green.
Abramoff,
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're telling everyone else, all of us to go green, and while they are, yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
It's because they want all the oil and gas for themselves.
exactly.
well, yeah, but they're making these guys targets. You realize this?
I know. You get the pirates
Yeah,
out,
but
right?
yeah, if everybody goes green, they've still got the yachts and the fuel-driven motors and the electricity and that.
Unless the pirates.
All we're on is like there's like 15th century technology, basically. How are we going to attack them? We're coming after you in our sailing ship. We're going to fire bows and arrows at you. We've got guns and diesel motors. How are you going to catch us?
It works for the Somali pirates.
Yeah, so
The Somali pirates have fast boats.
Look at me.
and guns.
Who's the captain now? Look at me. I'm the captain.
Oh, I love those videos you see of Somali pirates trying to attack Russian freighters.
It's a little different, isn't it?
Russian freighters carry ship-to-ship fucking weaponry. The freighters, when they fire a warning shot, it's not across the bows, it's through the fucking bows.
Well, it's a warning, isn't it? It's a warning to all the rest of the people not to do it.
Yeah.
They don't do it again.
Nope.
You gotta appreciate how the Russians approach things from time to time.
Can you imagine if the Somali pirates actually boarded a ship that was moving passengers from one leper colony to another?
That's
That would
another way to do it.
That would be interesting to see.
Flight attendant tells furious passenger, "I am not your servant," after he made her colleagues cry with demands. Oh, where's the story? It was here.
Oh, fuck off!
I gotta get rid of this.
First of all, hold on. If he's making colleagues cry with demands, colleagues need to grow thicker skins. And second of all, yeah, he's the passenger. He's paid for the ticket. He's paid for the service. Yes, you are his servant. Literally.
They buggered this thing. What a pain in the ass. Because the story was there, and let me go into what the story was about. Right, this guy, right, ordered a meal. Right.
Right.
The flight attendant said, "Let me check on that." Came back. Right. Told him that no, we don't have that meal for you. He was like, "What do you mean you don't have this meal for me? It's in the thing here." And well, we only have limited stuff on board, and the guy blew up. Right. And then of course that caused this woman to cry, and and whatever.
So he was an arse.
Yeah, he was a jerk about the thing, because the situation is in the coach
But
cabin
still,
areas.
she was wrong.
Well,
she is his servant.
Well, she.
I mean, yeah, he had no right to blow at her. Fair enough. But he could have put in a complaint because that stuff was on the menu and it wasn't there. Well, so he had a right to he had a right to complain, but he didn't have a right to be downright offensive. But even so, because of her job and because he's a paying customer, she is his servant. Just like the waiter at a restaurant's your servant while you're paying for the fucking meal.
That is a good point.
That's why it's called. That's why it's called. Hey, that's why it's called the service industry.
I understand, but it's also one of the problems that I have with the whole idea of flight attendants. They tell these flight attendants in school that they're there for public safety, right? They're there to help the people off. No, they're not there for one purpose. That when the purpose was created long before the FAA got involved in this kind of crap, they were there to serve drinks and food to passengers.
I think the correct term is a flight attendant. The correct term is coffee, tea, or me.
That was a very popular term back in the day.
Yep.
All right. That's what they were there for. Now this whole thing about no, they're not there. They're there for your safety. No, they were never.
No, they're
there
not.
For your safety.
They're not.
All right. That was an afterthought. Now, however, because they
they're there for your safety.
Up with that mentality that they think that
they're there for your. They're there for your safety. Yeah, they mind to the fucking captain fucking telling you where the emergency exits are. That's not for your safety.
Look, they can be. I'm not saying that they don't do that job, right? That in these things they can't help things. But to be honest,
mind they do. One thing I will give them. Apparently, I know somebody who went in for the training. They do. I don't know if they still do this, but this is go back to the 80s. They do, or they did get a very high degree of first aid treatment.
Hey guys, carry on for just a little bit. I got to do something.
So you could say that, but aside from that, they're cabin crew. They're there to serve drinks and,
make sure
get you pillows
secured and
calm you down if you're a bit anxious about flying.
Exactly.
Tell you where you can store your IED if you're a terrorist.
Hey, stewardess, will you hold this knife for me?
Yep. Fly this plane to Cuba. I'm sorry, sir. This is the number 12 bus that goes past the gasworks. Ahmed, the short-sighted terrorist. Oh, God.
Oh, no. We're going to get cancelled. Well, sorry.
Fly this steward. Oh, God. Can you imagine if it was an Air India plane flight? Fly this carpet to Cuba.
Oh, God, no. Follow that camel.
Airways. Flying glorious Maharaja class with Punjab Airways.
Goodness gracious me.
Do you not remember that advert?
Will he even pretend to make engine noises to make you feel better? Here is our motorbike in idle.
Can you not remember that
advert? But now it's driving up. But goodness gracious me. But.
Do you not remember that advert?
What's that?
The Phineas Fogg advert with Punjab Airways.
No. Can't
remember. You sad little man.
I know, but there you go.
Yeah.
But was that the Phineas Fogg's crisps or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pay attention, Phineas Fogg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know very popular concert.
Japan's MSDF, Ministry of Defense, I assume, captain suspected of leaking classified information. A Japanese maritime self-defense force captain is suspected of leaking classified information, government sources said Saturday. The first time such a breach has come to light since the secrecy law came into effect in 2014. The leak occurred when a former MSDF admiral asked the captain for information via another member of the MSDF, sources said, though the contents of the unauthorized disclosure were not known. The SDF's Criminal Investigation Unit has launched a probe into the alleged leak. What do you guys think?
Oh, sorry, I was impersonating the probe.
It's not an alien probe.
I'm thinking, if it was an alien probe, you get, ow, my backside.
I mean, Japan is starting to take its defense far more serious. Let's be honest. Japan is taking its defense a lot more seriously than the EU is.
Well, the EU's got defense now.
No, they're taking the idea of defense a bit more.
I wish our country would take seriously their defenses, kind of like our borders.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing, and they're taking a more aggressive stance, obviously, towards China.
Well, hold on. If Japan took a more aggressive stance towards China, they'd be invading it again.
I didn't say they were taking an ultimate aggression stance.
Well,
I
that's
said more aggressive
no,
in the last few years.
Yeah, but if it was more aggressive in the last few years, they'd be invading.
Yeah.
You think? Are you calling for an invasion of China by Japan?
Why? There's nothing else on telly.
Yeah.
Why? Like, can you imagine though? What would happen, and especially how much of a shock it would be to the world if Japan invaded China and they were using mechas and Gundams and shit.
Gundams. Oh, the Gundams, yeah.
Do you really think that Japan has those things?
No, but I think it'd be fucking brilliant if they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'd be a
fun.
feather in their caps because they haven't used them on anybody else.
Well, I mean, you got to test them on somebody first, right?
Exactly. Might as well be
right?
China's a perfect target.
God, can you imagine if they'd had them in World War II? Yeah, Pearl Harbor would have been very different, wouldn't it?
Cool, yeah.
Pearl Harbor would have been a beachhead.
All these mobile suits suddenly making a beach landing.
No. Can you imagine a 60-foot-tall humanoid robot with a fucking sword sauntering out of the fucking Yokohama Bay or something? Or whatever it's called.
Well, there is a Yokohama Bay, but
Yeah, but it's in Japan, I know. Okay, the pilot got lost, okay?
You have Pearl Harbor.
We so low.
I believe that's what it's called, right?
Yeah. Hey, talking about Pearl Harbor, did you ever see the final countdown?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Good
So
film,
that's the one with the aircraft carrier going back in time. Yeah.
It's
good.
Kirk Douglas.
Martin Sheen.
Yeah. And
That's
Kirk
good
Douglas
film,
was the
that.
captain.
And,
Yeah, I like that.
if I had been on board and I'd been one of those pilots, right? I'd been like, didn't hear that? Radio's broken.
Yeah, then you would have probably got shot down.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you probably would have.
I may have had a ditch, but I would not have been shot down. I guarantee that those carriers would be sinking.
No, you would have been shot down by your own ship. Because you don't know what effect just sinking one of those carriers would have had.
Oh, so a single carrier would have absolutely just decimated the Japanese fleet.
Yeah.
People don't they talk like, I saw a thing where people were like, well, could one carrier do things? Yeah, a carrier can. For one thing,
a carrier from it was from the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a carrier from the 70s versus the Japanese fleet of the 40s. Yeah, the planes, the carrier itself, and the choppers on board the Nimitz would have decimated everything the Japanese had.
Yes.
It might have made the situation in the 40s with World War II and that even worse.
Well, it could have created a lot of interesting dynamics. For example, how would the European part of the conflict go? You got to remember the United States at that point would have stopped the invasion.
Roosevelt wanted to enter World War II, right? And Pearl Harbor was a convenient excuse. There's a theory going around that, there are rumors going around that Roosevelt and the Joint Chiefs knew that the attack on Pearl Harbor was coming. They just let it happen. So they could have that swing in public opinion to go to war.
They did want a more proactive action, all right, to stop Hitler. That's very true, especially Roosevelt. But you've got to remember, if the United States all of a sudden has a carrier like this, do you think that we're thinking about Europe anymore?
But in a very different way.
We may be inviting British to come over and giving them new weapons and arms. This would have made things completely different.
No, you probably would be thinking about Europe, but in very different ways, because back in those days, America was seriously thinking about using its military to increase its land gain.
Yes. Well, to increase, to essentially do what Japan was claiming it was doing, right? Which is
Yeah,
peace, growth,
America was after
prosperity.
building. America was seriously considering building an empire.
Yes.
Here's a one for you. Yeah, if you want to go on about possible outcomes of historical events, what would it? I mean, I think there were a few fucking people who were running for president around that time who were pro-Hitler. Can you imagine if one of those got in?
Remember, we had a member of the monarchy that was supportive of Hitler.
Yeah, funny thing is, he wasn't until he got involved with Wallace Simpson.
You blame the American.
I don't care. It would have been the same if she was English. She was a Nazi sympathizer.
Well, and a lot of the people that were Nazi sympathizers, right? I mean, you talk about one of the Nazis in the world, a guy named John Rapp, right? Why am I bringing up Rob? Rob was one of the people who did whatever he could to try and protect the Chinese, all right, during the Nanking massacre, all right. And he had been writing back, but he was an avowed Nazi. Okay, you got to understand this, all right?
Interestingly,
go ahead.
So was Franco, but Franco wasn't pro-Hitler.
No. Franco was Franco was about Spain and doing what was best for Spain. Okay.
Yeah.
As he saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta understand it. It's as he saw it. He did not like the communists. He did not like what gets termed the Republicans. And there's some very good reasons, because the Republicans were not these, we're about democracy people. They were communists, folks, and they were killing people. All right, in mass. If you disagreed with them, all right, it was a literal hellscape in Spain, and this was the problem when you start talking about what was going on in Spain at that time. There was no middle ground. You couldn't be somebody in the middle.
There was 3 different ideological camps. They were all fighting each other.
And Franco decided to use the military to end it. All right, end the Republic.
Well, they all use military to try and end it.
Well, when I say the military, I'm not going to say Spanish military. He had the majority of the Spanish military behind him.
Yeah, and that's not saying much.
No, I'm not saying it did, but he did sit up there and put down, brutally suppressed, if you want to look at it. All right, the Marxists, the communists, and these communists had gotten to the point where basically they were burning churches. They were summarily taking priests out and shooting them in the head. All right, and
teachers.
Even when this was pointed out to the certain people in the American press, Hemingway, all right, what was their response? Well, you can't have revolution without breaking a few eggs. In other words, they were excusing this behavior. This whole
like the Democrats.
That these guys were good.
We all do it. We all excuse the behavior of the side that we support. We all do it.
Well, but he was part of the propagandist network for them.
Who, Hemingway?
And yes. Right. People think that Hemingway is this great. Oh, he was a great American. No, he wasn't a great American. Okay.
If I remember,
a traitor as far as I'm concerned.
Edgar Rice Burroughs refused to have anything, to do with what was happening in Spain.
Yeah, for good reasons. Right, there was no good side.
No.
Right.
Now that's an American author I really liked, Edgar Rice Burroughs.
You just like
Tarzan. Seriously. Yeah, Tarzan. John Carter, Mars. I'm forgetting the other guy because he did one on Venus as well.
Yes.
He was a prolific writer, though.
Carson was Venus.
Something like that, yeah. But John Carter, yeah, I actually preferred John Carter to Tarzan.
Yeah. I actually like Tarzan in a certain regard. Right. The only thing is his view of the monarchy from Britain was kind of interesting to me. Right. But
Kind of
those are the old
incorrect.
days. I didn't say I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying it was
But
interesting to me at that
I
time.
wonder how much of an influence the Jungle Book was on Tarzan, because it was written a decent time earlier, and let's face it, Mowgli was Tarzan
Um.
because he wasn't the little
Yeah.
kid that you see in Disney's Jungle Book.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's no wolves instead of apes. So yeah.
Okay. For those of you who've never read a lot of Edgar Rice Burroughs, Edgar Rice Burroughs was a quote unquote man of his time. Okay.
He was a what?
He was a man of his time.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to understand the writings and the books and everything are based along those lines. Right.
He wrote about people as they were in the time that he was. I mean, if you notice in his writings, he never tried to use the novel savage. Yeah, if he was writing about Native Africans, he wrote about them as he knew them. He didn't say they were any better than they were or any worse than they were.
Right.
He didn't build them up and he didn't dehumanize them.
That's true. That's very true. All right. But to him, it was still all about genetics. Okay.
Well, that's what the prevailing scientific ideas were at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly right. He wasn't. It wasn't just. It wasn't about race though. You got to understand something. He was into it to the point where you could come from the best family in the world supposedly, but if your genetics were from pirates, for example, or from prostitutes, it was very likely that you would become a prostitute or you would become a pirate.
Yeah. Whereas you look at Robert E. Howard, his idea was entirely different. I mean, look at Conan. Conan came from a people who were they were basically Stone Age people with iron. Yeah, the Sumerians. And he became king of the greatest kingdom in the world of his age. And the Conan from the novels was a self-educated man. He had the working knowledge of antiques. He could read and write and even speak many languages. A lot of them were actually dead by the time he came around. And yeah, his people were primitives. It was exactly the opposite idea that their Burroughs had about people.
That's true.
But he was still very much a man of his times.
Yeah, no, the thing, but you got to remember that when you read these things as adventure stories, they were great adventure stories. I think his best series, to be honest, Edgar Rice Burroughs' best series though, was At the Earth's Core. Right.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, that place.
Pellucidar is how I pronounce it. That's the best I could come up with. All right. That was actually to me a much better story arc line, right?
Yeah, I remember that because it was Doug McClure, wasn't it?
Yes.
God, he spent his entire life either herding cattle or fighting dinosaurs, didn't he?
Well, guys, I'm going to drop out. I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
See you later, you dirty hippie.
We have two
stories
left, so
yeah, I've got to drop. I've got things to. I'm probably jump on a stream late, but I've got some things I need to sort out first. Anyway, you guys take care, all right? Thanks for having me.
All the best.
No problem.
Yeah, well, I hope we can do one of my shows again because it's been a while.
It does.
Too long.
You've got an entire year ahead of you.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's been long. I can't remember the last time we did a British at Coming. So maybe we could try and get some going after Christmas.
Yeah, you never know. Hey,
yeah.
Look forward to it. Okay, like I said, all the best to you.
Yeah, take care, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Cousin Eddie
left the building. All right. Confused neighbor calls 911 on Cousin Eddie's mannequin.
No, just on Cousin Eddie mannequin.
Police in Kentucky, not a surprise. All right, we're summoned to a neighborhood.
Hold on. Who's Cousin Eddie?
I don't know. Police Police in Kentucky were summoned to a neighborhood when a resident confused part of a neighborhood's Christmas vacation-inspired yard display. That must have been who it was. All right. Shepherdsville Police Chief Rick McCubbin, all right, said dispatchers took a call from a resident reporting a scantily clad man exposing himself outside with a hose between his legs.
That looks amusing.
Officers,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Officers arrived at the scene to find the reported man was actually a mannequin, a recreation of the scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where Cousin Eddie, played by Randy Quaid, stands outside in a robe while emptying his
Oh,
RV
yeah.
tank.
Yeah, now I remember. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's amusing.
The mannequin is part of the Joni Keeney's Christmas display. Everybody has a Cousin Eddie in their family. Everybody, Keeney told WDRB-TV. I just want people to have a good Christmas and get a laugh. Keeney said the scene has been a hit with most of his neighborhoods, except apparently the resident who called the police.
Good on you. Right, the only person in my street who ever does any of those front yard displays, right?
Mm.
They put up one this year. They did a nativity scene, right? Or the nativity scene. But you know what they used?
What?
They used DC Universe action figures.
And who is baby Jesus?
Oh, you mean little baby Batman Jesus?
Was that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, little baby Jesus Batman. I was most amused.
I imagine so. I imagine so. You ready for the final story of the day?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Bear steals box of bagels from North Carolina woman's porch. Has it gotten through you guys' heads yet to not leave food out for the bears?
Oh, bear. I thought you said mare.
No, bear. A North Carolina woman's home security camera was recording when a bear wandered onto her porch and stole a package filled with bagels. Mary McClear said her doorbell camera captured footage of a bear when it wandered into her Hendersonville porch, right? Apparently tempted by the smell of the bagel box and a box of snacks she leaves out for delivery drivers.
Hey, Nomad. You know what I'd do if I was living out there and I discovered a bear that was regularly stealing food from people's houses? I'd track the animal, I'd tranquilize it, then I would affix a green pork pie hat to it and a shirt collar, and just let it go about its business.
The footage shows the bear taking snacks from the treat box before fleeing with a box of bagels. McClear said that the package was filled with bagels, cream cheese, salmon sent to her by a friend from New York City. Yeah, you don't think the fish smell is going to attract the bear?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Were there any picnic baskets there?
I don't know, but can you imagine walking up saying, "Okay, delivery." Oh, Mr. Bear. I mean, it's almost like she's trying to set up the poor people who do deliveries to her. Right? Next time you don't sit up there and give me the right kind of pizza, I'll show you. Stuck to the lid, my ass.
Oh God, that would be a horrible thing, wouldn't it? If a bear found somebody's cell phone and bank card, and somehow managed to use it to order pizzas.
If a bears get that smart, the pizza men are in trouble. Uber Eats. Surprise. Eats is the word. I feel sorry for this, though. I mean, but the thing is don't leave food out at night. You're going to attract wild animals. I live in an urban area, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would be insane to leave food out in this urban area because, first of all, we've already had incidents where coyotes and a few other things have been roaming around in the middle of the streets, right?
Meth heads,
Well, that's a separate issue,
coyotes, and meth heads.
right? But there's also been at a local school they caught a jaguar,
Hmm.
right? Now, supposedly they keep going back with, well, this is not part of its normal range. Whether it's part of the normal range or not, there was a jaguar at a middle school, okay, a
And
few
it
years
wasn't being
ago.
driven by a parent.
It was not being driven. It was. These things are, these animals are wild, and
Yeah.
they will come. For example, if you're in New York City, if you leave out a box of bagels, and we'll get rid of the human element. If you put out a box of bagels and cream cheese, what's going to happen? I can guarantee you
Rats.
the rats in that city would just go freaking ballistic.
Yep.
All right. The idea that
Oh yeah.
this was a good idea, I can't see how anybody thought this was a good idea. This woman's
Because
an
they're
idiot.
idiots. Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm sure she's thinking, well, what's the worst that can happen? A squirrel, a possum. Okay. What do you think is the worst that can happen now? You attract Mr. Bear.
Pack of wolves.
That's coming because they keep introducing wolves in all these areas, trying to tamp down the deer populations. So the deer populations have exploded because they've reined in hunting in many areas, right? So therefore, no one's going out and hunting like they used to, and the deer populations have gotten so far out of the control that they're basically eating themselves out of existence. Right?
Yeah.
They're starving to death and everything else, and these animals are suffering because they don't have the natural predators around. So their solution isn't to go out there and have humans hunt. Their solution is let's bring back the predators. Right? Now, it's all well and good until people, you have to take a look at what a wolf, how big
Interesting
a
thing
wolf
about wolves.
actually is.
Yeah. Interesting thing about wolves. Apparently, if you're on a nature trail in the States or anywhere else where they've got wolves, you're not likely to be attacked by a wolf, right?
That's true.
But if you're on the same trail and you've got a dog with you, your dog is very likely to be attacked by a wolf.
Because he's a competitor.
It's not just that. It's I've heard some experts say it's almost like the wolves are disgusted by dogs.
It's a possibility.
Well, think about it. Compared, yeah, there's hardly any genetic difference between wolves and dogs, right?
There's very little. That's true.
But
they can have
dogs,
offspring, and
they
share.
Yep.
They would then share.
They can have viable offspring.
Yeah.
No, they can have viable offspring. But the thing is, a dog is like a physically disabled and mentally retarded wolf. Seriously. Even the biggest breeds of dog.
Different creatures. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, wolves are wild. Dogs are domesticated. Domestication, tends to make creatures smaller, less intelligent, and less powerful. But also, it makes them a lot more sociable.
Right.
And that also seems to have happened to human beings. We appear to have domesticated ourselves. Because you look at Cro-Magnons, who were modern humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were bigger, they were heavier boned, they had larger brains, and they were more impressive than us.
Yes and no.
But we're smaller, we're weaker, and apparently our brains are smaller as well.
It's not just that the brains are smaller, though, but
the forebrain as well as the hindbrain.
Yeah, but they say that there's a lot of other things that the brain is not as adapted to, but more adapted in other areas. For example, a lot of the sensory.
we're probably a lot more adapted when it comes to sociability.
Sociability and also abstract thinking. All right.
Well,
They were far more in tune with their senses, sense of hearing, sense of smell,
yeah, and
so forth.
they were also
very, very close to. I think they were very close to dogs in that regard.
they were also even an ape's senses aren't anywhere near as attuned as a dog's. But the Cro-Magnons were highly capable of adaptive abstract thinking. So Neanderthals, you can tell that by cave paintings. Yes, Neanderthals did cave paintings before our ancestors turned up on the scene.
That's true.
They even carved little figurines, Neanderthals and Cro-Magnons, buried the dead. That's all abstract thinking. That's a high degree of abstract thinking, especially when you dispose of your dead in a stylized way, such as burial.
Right, but they didn't do it until their contact with Homo sapiens.
No, they were Neanderthals were doing it before contact with our culture. Yes, they were.
According to the papers that I've seen, it was those recordings date back to the times of contact.
There's more recent evidence. Actually, Neanderthals were a form of Homo sapiens. They just weren't the same as Homo sapiens as our ancestors. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a hell of a lot of evidence that says that Neanderthals were doing that way before they came into contact with our ancestors.
Hard to say. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic. It doesn't change things. It doesn't change.
I mean, think about it. They were obviously as intelligent as our ancestors because, I mean, look at the tools they made. I mean, they were making resin to secure spearheads. That takes a ridiculously long and involved process, which is taking time away when you could be hunting, right?
That's true.
But it produces something really useful. But yeah, that alone proves how intelligent they were. But with that kind of intelligence, you can't satisfy it merely by planning for hunting and planning for gathering and planning how to make stuff. There's got to be other stuff there, and that other stuff is abstract thinking.
To an extent.
An intelligent mind always has to be occupied. And it always has to be occupied by something new.
Warfare. Works really well.
Sex.
Well, thanks for coming out, everybody. I appreciate you all having the time to come out there and visit with us. I thank you, Batman. Thank you, Sixer, for coming up. Hope you all have
I think it's only me you're talking to now because there's only one watching.
Possibly, but hope you all have a Merry Christmas. And
yeah, I hope that the worst thing that happens to you this Christmas is you have difficulty in choosing which food to eat.
Good luck, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
And we're done. You didn't get your